Let's do it.
Let's go. All right. First topic of the evening. Best Macho Man feud. Man, this is very wide open. There's so many good feuds out there. What is the best Macho Man feud?
Wow.
Well, I got 3, but I got to narrow it down to 1, huh?
Yeah, which
one?
It's got to be the Hulkster. You know, I was going with Jake. I was going with Diamond Dally, but it's got to be the Hulkster. You know, friends or foes is the question. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hulk feud, it was so intense. I love the Hogan and Savage feud, but also like I'm a little older than you guys, so I love the Steamboat Savage feud as well. Even though Macho lost at WrestleMania 3, which was
We'll talk about that. A little revisionist history. Yeah.
Yeah, but that everything leading up to that, I remember when he hit him with the bell from the top rope on Superstars. It was what a feud! Like I loved it. I love the intensity. Nobody brought intensity, and Steamboat just played off him so perfect, leading to that one of the best Mania matches to this day. Macho Man and Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. Like I can go back and watch that match
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom. I kind of knew that with you, I going into this, looking at the feuds from the past and just all, revisiting a lot of those. I wasn't really around a lot for the Steamboat feud. That one, I remember seeing it, but I don't really remember the feud.
You were a gleam in your father's eye, and your father had lust in his eyes. Don't lie to us. Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah,
Dad was he was a big fan at that time.
Yeah.
My feud that I went with was I went with the Ric Flair feud from that culminated at WrestleMania 8. That feud with Macho, which is one of the only feuds, I guess, really that was one of the top feuds where he was a baby face in the feud. And I just remember, I remember that was, I was really just getting into wrestling at the time, and the pictures in the WWF magazine where Flair was poolside with Elizabeth, and
we always talk about that feud.
Yeah, and also let's not forget one of the best Macho gear that he ever wore. The gold, black and gold, a little bit of the native pattern, very good.
Yeah, it was good.
That's the one to wear at WrestleMania. You're wearing that at prom or WrestleMania. You take your pick. Either way it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, he and that feud, man, it was just that he was babyface coming off of the retirement match, where he reunited with Elizabeth, and that led him into this babyface feud with Flair. To me, that was the best one. I was that holds a very nostalgic place for me.
Also, keep in mind, only 2 people have beaten the Macho Man for the World Heavyweight title. Yeah, Flair's one of them, and Hogan's the other. Yeah, so those are very important, iconic feuds for the Macho Man for sure. And this goes into WCW, that stat, which is crazy. Yeah,
that is crazy.
I
didn't know that stat.
That is wow. I didn't realize.
And
didn't know that.
And I'll use my real voice now. What I was going, I'm just kidding, it's not my voice. Other thing. So. Also, he's never pinned Hogan ever. So every now and then I'll watch WCW and I'll see this one match and I'm like, Macho's finally gonna beat him. And then out comes Bret Hart, and it was the whole, if it wasn't for the Hitman Hart, Hollywood Hulk Hogan wouldn't be wearing my Wolfpack WCW title. Yeah. So it's sad. Macho Man really never got that bump over Hogan ever. So I like to, when you're seeing a movie for the 3rd time, you're like, maybe the outcome will be different when you're like 7 years old. That's how I watch these Hogan Macho Man matches. Yeah.
The Flair, I remember when they showed the pictures of Flair with Elizabeth. Oh my God, that was so intense too.
And the monogram towels.
The monogram towels were the big one.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And I didn't even expect Macho to beat Flair for the title that year. Like, that totally shocked me. I love when Macho won the belt the first time, but when he beat Flair, totally shocked. Absolutely loved it. Like, that was a great moment.
Yeah, for my favorite feud, it's tough, man, because there's so many like big moments that I like from separate feuds. You know, obviously, I feel like the one everyone goes to is Mega Powers.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But
the comp.
for me, I'm like, Sneak kind of took a little bit of mine because the Ric Flair one is high up there. It didn't go as long as I wanted it to. I have a soft spot for 2, and 1 is pretty short, but just I think it's got the most iconic Savage moment. I love the Ultimate Warrior one where when Macho's with Sherry, it's the career match. Elizabeth jumps the guardrail at the end, comes in. That's my favorite Macho Man
picture
moment.
of them just standing toe to toe in the ring. You know that one. Warrior's got the coat on. Yeah, that's epic one.
I love that. And then the DDP. The
And
DDP feud.
some of the best feuds too are from having a tag partner. So like those promos with Ultimate Warrior, man, I watch them at least once a week. You know, like no food, no sleep, no nothing, just maniacism. You know that one is what is Ultimate Maniacs. Great one as well. So much power in both of them. Another underrated one we haven't mentioned. There's no image of them. Is the Dusty Rhodes feud, man? Mixed tag match.
Yeah,
Sapphire.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
I was at graduation last year. I'm a teacher, and I swear, when one of the seniors' mother was wearing like a sapphire dress, man, with the polka dots. I took a picture, and I'm like, I can't post this. It'll get back to me. Flashback of 2 months ago, man. I was like, hey, because he's a huge fan. The kid is a senior now, and I was like, hey, your mom had like a sapphire thing. She's like, oh yeah, she's a huge Dusty Rhodes fan. Like she wore that on purpose. Like that's amazing.
No shit.
Yeah,
wow.
So that's a good one too. That tag match. Yeah, all the promos. There's tons of promos of Macho King and Dusty. There's so many on YouTube. So a lot of these feuds for me, like the promo material, puts it to the top. Same with Jake the Snake. I don't want to get ahead of you, but those are amazing too.
Oh, the Jake one, man.
Yeah.
That he breaks out the King Cobra. We have the iconic like snake bite, and then they go into
Indiana
Tuesday
Jones,
in Texas.
Temple, that and Temple of Doom made me terrified of snakes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, absolutely terrified. As a kid, when I watched it,
man.
I vividly remember as a kid.
That's my earliest memory of Macho Man.
Watching that snake bite him on the arm, I was like, "Oh shit, man!"
Here's my thing with so you brought it up, Sneed, about the Flair feud, which I love the Flair feud. Okay, anytime you bring Elizabeth into the equation,
better watch it.
It elevates it. But I think the two that were the most like blood feud type of storylines, it was the Jake Roberts feud, because Jake slaps Elizabeth in that feud, which would not happen today. Like it got more violent in that feud than any other. And the Diamond Dallas Page feud, man.
He also ruined his wedding. You know?
Oh, that's I was getting ready to bring that up, man.
It's like a $50,000 deposit, you know? Yeah.
At SummerSlam, the match made in heaven, match made in hell, and when they're having that ceremony, they open the box and that snake's in there.
So,
dude,
surprise! To be able to meet Jake the Snake at Comic-Con this year, man. On the 4th day, my voice is totally shot. It was so gone that I actually sounded the most like Macho Man I've ever sounded. And I'm in so much pain from walking in cowboy boots the first time. So I'm walking like Macho Man. I'm like walking all slow and pain. Finally saw Jake, and I was like, "You're the guy that ruined my wedding." And he's like, "I did you a favor," you know. Wearing the same gear and to see him, man, I'm glad I didn't give him a heart attack. But it took me back to that moment for sure.
And not only that, but you think to Macho Man Jake the Snake, that's what turned the Undertaker face for the first time.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, he grabbed the chair.
Right.
Elizabeth with it, right?
Well, he kind of saved my wedding, yeah.
Also, a cool element of that feud was Royal Rumble 92 that year. Savage kept waiting for Roberts to enter the Rumble. And when he finally entered the Rumble, he tossed Roberts, but he jumped out and eliminated himself to go after Roberts because it meant more to him to kick this dude's ass than to win the world title, which was awesome.
Right
Elevated.
yeah.